Hey, Greg Silva here. I was just thinking back on the time I made a decision with my schools to no longer have teens and adults train together. It seemed kind of awkward, and I said, if I really want to build my teen market, I really have to cater to a curriculum and class plan that teens really look forward to. In fact, at that time, I was probably 42 years old, and I was kind of aging out of teaching teens. I know 42 is not that old, but it's probably the age of a lot of parents of these teens. And I didn't want to be the parent teaching the kids. And so I hired a younger instructor. He was in his mid-20s, real good looking kid, all ripped, good looking hair. And he was just kind of a role model teen. Super, super nice kid, super smart. And he became my instructor for the teens. Then I started sitting back and go, I have an incredible opportunity here to train new instructors. And how I did that is, my best instructors are the teens coming up. They're the best assistants. They don't have to be paid a lot of money. They're still living at home. It's a cool job teaching martial arts. So I was hiring teens. So I started thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I used part of my teen class to train instructors? I didn't have to even tell them that, but we would do something like this. I would have a teen come up and I would say, hey, I need a volunteer, or the instructor that was 25 years old would do this. I need someone to help me do the warm-up, someone to lead the sit-ups. But before you get up here, we have to lead by example. So if you're a leader, you always lead by example. You don't just ask someone to do it, but you do it with them. So I need a leader here that's going to be highly motivated, is willing to work harder than anyone else to lead by example. So what I was doing, I was getting a volunteer. At the same time, I'm working on the mindset of an instructor. So they were going into class. Towards the end of the class, we would do lines. So I'd have like 5 or 6 kids in a line, and we'd pick one person to be the pad holder. So now I was training the pad holders how to compliment people when they're hitting pads. Hey, when you're holding the pad, don't just look at the kid and say, kick. When he's hold the pad, I want you to hold the pad. When someone kicks, tell them they did a great job. Tell them they had good power. Maybe remind them, hey, keep those hands up. So what I want you to do is give feedback. Because when people are hitting pads or people are training, they're always asking themselves, am I doing it right? How am I doing? So you got to give them feedback. So now I've got the leaders there, and they're going through and they're making compliments or comments to the people that are kicking. So it's actually a teaching technique. It's the same thing I would have done if I was doing staff training on how to motivate and how to give feedback. We would do that. Say, okay, I need another leader. Hey, I got, when I was watching the last group, a lot of people were using the same word to compliment. Hey, awesome kick, awesome job, awesome this. So let's have a little more variety. Let's think about the first 5 letters of the alphabet. We'll have awesome. We're going to change that to amazing. B, hey, best one I've seen so far tonight. Cool for C, D for dynamite, and E for excellent. So when you do that, I just want you to go just through the alphabet like that. So the first person come up, you go, amazing, and then maybe give him a high five. Next kid that comes up, and he does it, hey, best I've seen you do all night. So I want you to do some different type of feedback. So it's more of a variety, and later on it's going to be more genuine because you're going to mix it up. So the importance of this, I told the leaders, is we want to inspire and we want to motivate the other people in line. So you can't just shut up. Everyone should be talking. The person kicking should be yelling, whatever you're going to do. And the person holding the pad is giving the feedback. Because what's everyone thinking? Yeah, how am I doing? So that would be an example of 2 things I could do in a class where I'm actually training all the teens. And I mean, you can ask Paul Garcia this because he used to be an assistant in that class. We would have over 100 teens in a single teen class at 7 o'clock in the evening. I was talking to Charles Jarnigan yesterday, and we came up with this idea because he really wants to develop bench strength, but he doesn't have time. I mean, he's a busy guy. His instructors are really busy. They don't have empty time slots. So he's saying, I need bench strength. I go, hey, easy. You've got 30 teens. Each class, you should be building bench strength with those 30 teens. Now, you're going to watch as you go through, some teens are going to really rise to the top. You go, man, that guy's going to be a good instructor someday. That kid's going to be a good instructor someday. I think I'm going to ask them to come in and assist me with a couple of classes. Now, you don't have to promise you're going to be teaching yet, but you can just have them assist and watch you in class. Maybe, hey, can you go get a pad for me? And then show them how to do pad kicks. But, give them something to do. I belong to a church, family church in Palm Beach. And the cool thing about family church is there's lots of opportunities to serve. You can serve opening the door. You can serve just greeting people. You can answer questions from at the desk. You could serve coffee. There's all kinds of ways to serve. And they really want to get everyone serving. Because once you start serving, you're part of it. And it's not like I'm just a member here. I'm part of the team. It makes you feel important. It makes you feel wanted. You're needed. Well, it's the same thing with your teen class. As you use your teen class to develop staff, give them opportunities to serve. I visit Tom Baker's school a lot in Arizona. I've never been to Tom Baker's where I have to open the door. There's always someone there to open the door, say hello, or say goodbye. And it's not a paid staff member. It's a volunteer. When I watch them say, hey, I need the classroom cleaned up for the next class, he's got volunteers. They may not be teaching, but they're assisting in controlling the class, the class plan or the class management. So take the opportunity, train your teens not only to teach martial arts, but to do martial arts, of course. So they do martial arts and learning how to teach. Paulo Ladra says you learn to teach and then you teach to learn. Because when you start teaching, all of a sudden you're finding different ways of explaining things and you learn more just by teaching. So you have to tell the teens in your class, one of the reasons we're doing this, and I'm talking about how to teach, is you're going to have opportunities. Sooner or later, you're going to be kind of a senior student here. And when you get a white belt or yellow belt come in, they're probably going to ask you questions. Hey, I just started here. I watch you kick. You're a real good kicker. How do you do it? So now you're going to assist them. So one of the things you could do in your teen class is practice PCP. You just have everyone sit down. Hey, guys, I know what's going to happen. Sooner or later, people are going to ask you questions and they're going to want help. I want to make sure that you give them the right answer, but at the same time, we want to make people feel good about themselves. So if someone has a question, you say, okay, let me see you do it. They go, man, you got a lot of effort there, a lot of concentration. Would you like to get those stances better? They go, yeah, I want to get those stances better. This is what you got to do. And then they practice a couple more times. Go, you got it, man. Your knees are bent, back nice and straight, looking good. So you praised them on their effort. You got permission to make some type of correction. After they did the correction and all of a sudden you saw improvement, you praise again. So if someone needs help, think PCP. In fact, for the next 5 minutes, we're going to practice this. I want you to get a partner. You can have your partner we're going to do a combination. This is the combination we're going to do. And while they're doing it, I want you to say, hold on one second. Man, you got some great effort. Would you like to get more power in that kick? You would? Okay, one way to get more power is to rotate your hips more. Have them practice it a couple times and then give them some praise back. So we're just doing what we're doing in instructor training, small segments at a time. Every time the teens train, so they're going twice a week, they're learning how to do martial arts and everything else you're doing. At the same time, they're learning how to communicate and teach others. So if you have 30 teens, 50 teens, and another school owner goes, hey, you got any bench strength? Because, yeah, I've got between 30 and 50. Because your teens are your bench strength. And again, with that bench, some people are going to rise to the top. So that's my tip for today. How to, get more done in the same amount of time. I'm going to teach, I'm going to get good teens, and I'm going to start building future instructors. Enjoy.